Hey everybody, hope you're doing well today. So I'm going to show you all today how sharps and flats work on the piano and what they are. When people usually think about sharps and flats, they think, oh, those are the black keys. Well, that's true. The black keys are all either sharps or flats, but it's not limited to the black keys, and that's what I really want to show you all today. So the only previous knowledge you need to know up to this point is how to name all the white keys on the piano. I actually have two videos that I've done about naming all the white keys on the piano, so I'll make sure those links are down in the description below, so you can check that out if you're not familiar with the names of the white keys on the piano. But once you are, you're now ready to learn about sharps and flats and how they work. So I'm going to start with the most common key on the piano, which is middle C, right here. All right, so first let's talk about a sharp. Anytime you sharp a key on the piano, it's going to be the very next key to the right, whether that key is black or white. Now in this case, from middle C, the very next key is this black key right here. Okay, so this is C, and if I said play C sharp, I'm going to go to the very next key to the right, which is the black key here. So this is C sharp. Now let's start on a different key. I'm going to go up to, let's say, C, D, E, F. So here's F. If I want to play F sharp, I'm going to go to the very next key to the right. Once again, that's a black key. So this is F sharp. Let's do another key. Let's say A right here. So this is A, and if I want to play A sharp, the very next key to the right is a black key, and this key right here is A sharp. But what if I started on B, which is right here, and I said, let's play B sharp? Well, if you look carefully, the very next key to the right is not a black key. It's a white key. So this is B sharp. So once again, here's B, and if I want to sharp it, the next key over actually is a white key. Now some of you might be saying, well, wait a second, you're playing a C. That's true, I am playing a C. And so for reasons I won't get into because it's really complicated right now, depending on what song you're playing, depending on things like key signatures, some songs this key might be designated as C. But in other pieces of music, it might be designated as a B sharp. Okay, so it can get a little complicated. But all you need to know for this video is that if you're starting on B and you want to play a B sharp, you're going to go right here. There's only one other white key on the piano that is sharp, and that is E sharp. I'm actually going to jump back down here to E. So here's E, and if I sharp it, the very next key to the right is right here. So this is E sharp. And again, it depends on the piece of music. Sometimes this could be F, but sometimes it could be E sharp. So sometimes keys have more than one name. We're going to get to more of that in just a second. But across the entire piano, you only have two white keys that are sharp. All B's are going to be sharped as a white key, which is looks like the C key. So, you know, that's a B sharp, that's a B sharp, that's a B sharp. And the other one is E, E sharp right there, which looks like it's the F key, but again, depends on the usage. So that's an E sharp, that's an E sharp, that's an E sharp. But as far as sharp goes, as far as sharps go, the rest of the sharps that you encounter are going to be the black keys. So let's go through them all. Let's go through all the sharps. I'm going to start on C. So C sharp is right there, black key. D sharp, here's D. So D sharp is right there, black key. Here's E, and we just said a moment ago, E sharp is one of the white keys right there. F sharp, now here's F. F sharp is going to be right there, another black key. G, if we sharp it, is right here. A, sharping it is right here. And finally, we have B, which is the other white key that's sharped, which is right here. And then we start all over again. Here's C sharp. The pattern begins again. So we've learned this is C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and finally B sharp. So what you have to learn is that sharps aren't only the black keys. The true definition of a sharp is to go to the very next note to the right, or the very next key to the right, whether it's white or black. If you're looking at a piece of sheet music, a sharp sign looks like a tic-tac-toe board. It looks like the pound sign on a telephone. It looks like a hashtag. And those are always going to be written in right before the note. So if you see middle C printed in the music, you're going to see a sharp sign right before that middle C, just giving you a heads up that you're not just playing middle C, you're actually playing this C sharp right here. So that's how sharps work. Let's talk about flats. So we just said that sharps go up. Sharps go to the right. Because when you go to the right on the piano, the notes are getting higher. So right is higher. But flats go lower. So we're going to go the opposite direction. We're going to go to the left. So let's start on B. And I'm going to use my left hand for this. I don't know why, but it just feels natural. If I want to go to B flat, I'm going to go to the very next key to the left, whether it's white or black. And that's going to be right here. So that is B flat. Let me jump up to E. If I'm going to go to E flat, it's the very next key to the left, which is right there. So that's E flat. But there are a couple of flat keys that are also white keys. C. C flat, the next key to the left, is right here. And once again, we're thinking, wait a second, that's B. It depends. Sometimes it is B. Most of the time it is. Some pieces of music will say, here's a C, go ahead and flat it, and that's the key you'll play. And there's another one that's also flat. That's a white key, F. F flat. If I go to the next key to the left, there it is. The E key. But depending on its usage, it could also be F flat. So once again, starting on B, B flat is going to be right here. A is right here, so A flat is right there. G is right here, so G flat is there. We talked about F flat is a white key right there. Here's E, and E flat would be right here. Here's D, which makes that D flat. And the last one is C. C flat is going to be right there. Okay, so the difference between sharps and flats. Sharps go up to the right, the very next key to the right. Flats go down, the very next key to the left. We said sharps look like hashtags, pound signs. Flats look like a half of a heart with a stem. And you're also going to see those written just before the notes in the music. Now, the thing that can get a little confusing is a lot of these keys actually have more than one name, which I said earlier. Because I was talking about how this is F, but it can also be E sharp. It just depends on how it's notated in the sheet music. Well, all these black keys actually have more than one name, depending on the usage, depending on the key. So if I start here on C and I say play C sharp, I'm going to go right there. But if I start on D, which is here, and I say play D flat, I'm going to go to that same key. So if you look at this key on the keyboard and you ask someone, say, hey, what key is that? Technically, it has more than one name. It can be C sharp or it can be D flat. So if you're playing in a piece of music that has sharps, most likely this key is going to be C sharp. If you're playing in a piece of music that has flats, most likely this key is going to be D flat. So it's really hard to say until you look into the music. without any sheet music, it could be either one. You could say C sharp and you wouldn't be wrong. You could say D flat and you wouldn't be wrong. But just realize that it's not just C sharp. It can also be D flat. Same with this key. It can be D sharp, right? Here's D, D sharp, or it could be E flat. It's true of all of them. The F sharp here can also be G flat. G sharp can also be A flat. And B flat can also be A sharp. Okay, and then there's those couple of white keys, like this is F, but it can also be E sharp. This is B, but it can also be C flat. So it can get a little confusing at first, but just remember the rules. The really basic rule that sharps go up to the very next key to the right, and flats go down to the very next key to the left. Okay, so that's the difference between sharps and flats. And if anyone says, oh, sharps are the black keys on the piano, flats are the black keys on the piano, they're not wrong, but it's not limited to that. There are a couple white keys. So just remember the golden rule. Sharps go up, next key to the right, flats go down, next key to the left. And that is all there is to it when it comes to sharps and flats.